Good morning everybody, here we are. It's mid-morning here, or getting on for lunchtime actually, and just trying to make the sun is trying to break through, and I'm just wanting to get these GPE bowls, some of which have got pouring lips and some that don't. I've got more to make as well, and I've got some more over there that are drying. When you've pulled a lip in a pot, as the pot dries, the lip can tend to lose its definition. In other words, the nice shape that you had when you pulled it, as it dries, it can lose a little bit of that shape. So when they're still soft and workable, you just want to go over them again very quickly and tweak them, just to sharpen up the shape, to take it back to how you had it originally when you did it, you know. I've already done that to these actually. I'm just kind of like checking them, make sure. It's actually quite, because it's not like really a very hot sun, or it's not really hardly any sun at all, it's quite good. They're drying quite evenly. In fact, these are actually getting to the point where I need to now turn them upside down, and when you do that, just make sure your board is clean, otherwise the rims here will pick up dirt, you know, or dry bits of clay if you haven't used a clean board. So, just putting them at this stage face down, there's no point in trying to change the shape of the pouring lip once they've got past a certain dryness, because if you do, you're just going to end up cracking it. It'll come out cracked in the firing, you know. For example, you may sort of think, well, you know, oh dear, just want to give it, just want to bend it a bit more, you know, and right now is not the time to do it. Too late, chum, too late. So, those are there, they are now face down. They very soon will be ready for thumbing off. I've got some over there, those are the ones I actually finished. Yesterday I did a clip actually of me quickly trimming them off. Okay, I'll just go back over here to the wheel. What I'm doing over here, I'm trying to finish off these guys, and you're probably wondering, what are those? Well, let me just show you. Get this adjusted. Yeah. Well, what I'm doing here is, these are small. I don't think you actually saw me making these, but I did. I think I did post on my Facebook account some pictures. By the way, you can follow us on Facebook. We're there. We've been there for some time actually, but basically what we're doing, these forms were thrown, and then I incised them with a needle. I say a needle, this is actually a needle tool for cutting off, but for cutting off a wavy rim, you know, but it's actually useless for that because it's far too thick. Good for injecting horses. Anyway, I used that to push into the outside, and I created three rings, which I then, with some buff coloured stoneware clay, I then worked that into the incision. Okay, let it dry a bit, and now this is the last one. What I've got to do is, and I'm going to bring us in on this just so you can see me fumbling, because I tell you, they're a fiddle, these things. I like them, don't get me wrong, I like them when they're done, but God, are they a fiddle? It's very time consuming. So let's just try and zoom in down there. Very time consuming. Okay. So, just going to see what you've got to get this into the grooves here, into the incisions, and then you have to get it off again. So in order to do that, I trim it off. Okay, so you just center this one up. I'm going to take my trim tool and I'm just going to lightly skim over the surface here with a bit of downward pressure from my finger here on my left hand. So I'm having to put this little plastic thing here over the top because I can't, there's nothing for me to put my finger on, if you understand. So I'm cleaning off the surface, which effectively leaves the buff coloured stoneware still in the incision. Trouble is, you know, you're working with a buff coloured stoneware on a darker stoneware, and you get smudges and all sorts of things. What I'm aiming to do is get the lines here so they look quite nice and sharp, as if I can, if possible. It's one of those effects that relies on, you know, this the contrast of the light against the dark, coupled with the simplicity of the form, is something that I like. Alright, so okay, having cleaned away the stoneware, the light coloured stoneware, I'm now at the point where just check we're in the picture. I'm now at the point where I'm ready to burnish it, because that's the next thing, because these pots are not glazed, if you understand me. Sorry, my zoom is like, it's a bit prehistoric. Okay, so there it is. So in order now to finish this, you've got to bear in mind that this clay is quite groggy. So in order to in order to get a nice smooth shiny finish, I've got to compress it somewhat. So I'm using a spatula knife, which has got a nice flexible tip. Again, I'm pressing down here, and I'm now carefully, because this is likely to fly off the wheel at any moment. I could put it in a chuck, but I think I can get away with not needing to chuck it. So, compressing the surface here. Oops. Compressing the surface with the spatula knife. To give it a burnished, shiny effect. Dee 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 dee. Da 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 dee. So we have to go over it and over it, which gives this kind of effect, this burnished effect, which is can be very nice and very satisfying if it's nicely well done, you know. You pick up a nice burnished pot, it's got a sort of leathery feel to it. Now that I don't know if you can see that this is somewhat smoother now. Let's have a look. There are potters out there who specialise in doing this, of course. You just need to hit it at the right point, so the clay is at the right hardness, you know, for the maximum burnishing effect. If it's too soft, it's not good. If it's too hard, it's not good. You just want to. I don't pretend to be an expert burnisher. It's not my speciality, this, but sometimes it's quite nice to. I like doing them sometimes. So this one, actually, what you can do when you've done it, sort of like stroke it with your hand like this, with the wheel going around. It kind of gives it a little bit extra shine, I find. I don't know if it's something of the grease of one's hand or the skin. It gives it a sort of extra sort of smooth shininess. So I've done a few of these. Some of them have worked better than others, I have to say. These are some of the better ones. Some of the other ones that haven't worked so well. Sometimes the line has not been so clearly defined and looks a bit blurry. I think what I did wrong with these was that I left them, they got too dry, and let me put them on put a couple of them on the banding wheel and see them a bit better. Having said that, we're probably going to be out of the picture, aren't we? And I'll refocus it. Refocus. Let's have a look. Let's bring the tripod down a bit. I just want you to see a bit of the sideways angle of these. Are quite nice. Well, there they are, folks. The burnished Of course, that's not the finished effect. We don't get that until it's fired, do we? Duh. Okay, well. Alright folks, well, Simon Leach saying, keep practicing, have a go at doing this. It's a bit of fun, and you might find it's something that is your forte. You might find it's something that you know, you really like, you know. Of course, there's no glaze applied to these, and these are just fired now. They're just going to be dried out and put straight in the kiln. That's going to be it. I think they're rather nice. They have a nice sort of feel to them, and I like the shape of these. But this effect, the combining of a light coloured slip or clay into another, into an incision or into a pattern or into a ring around, whatever, is I think is a nice very nice way of treating clay, yeah, in a simple, very direct way. Sometimes those things can be very effective and very nice. So, have a go and keep practicing. See you soon. Bye. Dee dee dee.